taking, you know, the breakfast.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
Gorgeous, yeah.
No, I should say people will know you to see you around Greystones. They won't know possibly the fact that you are not only Ireland's tallest man at 7 foot 4 inches, but also a man at the cloth, which is just means there's a lot more cloth than normal. Maybe I'm not sure exactly, but well, I suppose yes. The one thing I was sort of keen to talk to you now over the last few months. You've been through quite a lot. You had 4 years here in Greystones of being bedridden because of the pressure on the limbs, the membrane. You know, gets a lot of wear and tear. You know, I'm thinking for a man like yourself, for those 4 years, would that be a period of time when you would have entered into doubts about, you know, because I think when people are bedridden or they have any kind of condition, it really makes them go inside themselves. And for you, I don't know whether it was as an easy experience, whether there was any kind of doubts kind of growing up about, you know, inside that you just thought this is nonsense, or?
Yeah, well, for the first, I would say about 5-6 months, I was feeling like, oh goodness me, is this my lot now? I'm just going to die here in this bed.
Right.
You know, it's getting worse and worse. But no, I began to say, no, it's no use thinking that way. So I was praying and hoping and believing that I would be one day back up and out again. And I was kind of living for that day.
Right.
And it's come right now.
Well, January 2016, you were back, we'll say, able to get out about in the town again. A specially adapted wheelchair. You've got a balloon at the base of your back, which sort of gives you that extra support that you need. I'm guessing that was one hell of a day when you know, took those first kind of, you know, journey out into the town again. And
Absolutely.
was that a long process of getting the wheelchair designed? Was that something that happened very quickly in the end? Because I'm thinking you waited so long. I don't know how it came in the end. Your freedom.
Well, basically, the chair I had previously, I was getting a little better with my back, but it was still quite painful to sit for any length of time in the older wheelchair.
Right.
So I would go small little stops, like I live up there near St. Bridget's Park.
Okay.
So I just go, say, to Tesco and back, or down the end of the road and back the first part.
Right.
And then just keep building it up to the day when I can get down as far as Tesco. And then next little step would be beyond Tesco to Navy into the village, and then down to the actual village and
Nice.
able to get stuff.
Like a kid again, just starting. You're allowed so far from the house, you can start building and building and.
Exactly.
No,
Getting candy shop syndrome.
Now you were 21 when you were declared the Ireland's tallest man, 7 foot 4 inches. It wasn't until you were 39 that gigantism was diagnosed. I don't know if that's true. It was a late sort of.
No, I was actually only 6'11" and a half
Ah,
when
okay.
I was declared the tallest man in Ireland.
So you still grew after that.
Yeah,
Right.
I grew from the age of 39 onwards.
Right. Okay.
And I grew an extra 4-5 inches.
Wow. And how did you react to that? I don't know. It was, you know, I'm sure it was probably a mixture of but I don't know. Can you remember your feeling when you realised the diagnosis and that you were going to get taller? And
It was very unusual because I didn't believe in myself.
right.
I was going in with back pains and things like that too to see a doctor and in the hospital specialist, and this Chinese guy came out and asked, you know, because I was on crutches at that stage. He says, you know, could you take off the shoes, just hold on to the edge there for a moment, and we'll measure you and we'll take your weight and all those kind of things. And he came back and says, you're 21 stone, you're 7 foot. Yeah, and he was just rattling himself and I was saying, what? I'm not 7 foot. And
Right.
he says, well, he measured me again, 7 foot.
Wow.
And I was saying, oh Lord,
Wow.
I'm growing. And the endocrinologist didn't quite really believe us
Okay.
until my wife went with me on a visit to the endocrinologist. Was saying really, you know, he knew of nothing that he could do for me apart from just, you know, try and give me medication for the back pain.
Right.
But my left leg had gone dead by that stage.
Okay.
The right leg was getting paralysed, but still movement in it. And as I say, the endocrinologist says, you know, well, we can't see anything wrong with you. And my wife said, measure him.
Right.
Measuring him. So, you know, someone to measure me 7'3",
Wow.
And he says, look at the previous charts there when he first came to you. And suddenly he realised there's something funny going on here.
Right. Wow.
We saw the chart and the difference.
Now, you're from Ballydow and Tipperary. You're a long way from Ballydow, Tipperary. Is Ballydow, Tipperary you're from? Or
Oh, no, Ballybock.
Oh, Ballybock. Is that how you pronounce it? Ah, okay, there you go. I misread it then.
The rough part of Ireland, yeah.
Ah, there you go.
I'm not originally from there.
Okay.
I'm from Hampshire in England.
Ah, okay.
Originally born there.
Right.
And raised for a little while in Yorkshire.
Okay.
Then came to Ireland about 1969, 1970 thereabouts.
Okay. The draw to Ireland, I don't know whether you were already, a man of the cloth then, or whether that was.
Oh no, I was only a kid then.
Okay.
I was only like 69, 70. I was only about 8.
Ah, right.
So
Okay.
thereabouts then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's, my mother was Irish, so my dad passed away. So basically, best thing for her to do was to come back to Ireland and bring us she had relatives over here and any needs and help she needs the way here, So
And the religion, when did that come into your life? When did you decide to become a man of the
about the age of 29.
Okay. And was there a particular kind of turning point, or was it just something that had been brewing?
I'd say it's something that I've been brewing for a while.
Okay.
Something I've been brewing, and then basically I went to a meeting where there's this evangelist guy, and he kind of explained the whole meaning of the whole stuff to me about the Lord, what he had done for me, and actually something for me personally and for everybody personally, how he died for them,
Right.
And that suddenly, hit me hard because I'd been blaming God for a lot of bad things that happened in my life prior to that.
Okay.
I had been in a, what you call them, industrial schools.
Okay.
Up near Malahide Road, up on, it's part of the Artane complex.
Okay. Okay.
That was very
Tough.
hard as a young man, as a kid
Okay.
really. The guys raping you and beating you up and all that kind of gear.
Ah, okay. That's dreadful. And I'm trying to think. Then I was going to ask whether you were a relatively kind of happy experience in for any reason someone's different, whether they just happen to to have different coloured eyes or any kind of reason. It can be difficult as a teenager, and it can still be difficult going through life. I mean, was it a blessing or a curse, do you feel, to have this title of world's tallest man? Was that part of the problem that you were kind of noticeable, and then people may have treated you differently?
They did when I was walking around, yeah.
Okay.
Irish people seem to think they have the right to go up and stop you in the street and tell you a joke you've heard 100 times that day.
Yeah, there is that sort of can I try on your glasses kind of approach in Ireland. People just assume they have every right to go up and do what they like and say what they like.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was kind of, you could say that there was happiness in that part of your life, or whether it was just very difficult. I don't know what the memory of it is.
Difficult in getting clothes.
Okay.
And,
Right.
And the cost of getting them as well, because shoes size 22, you basically have to pay to get them made, and that you're talking 3,000, 4,000.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
And you're very careful with your shoes. Then I'd say there's no.
Yep. But my wife happened to watch TV one day and see this lady, the tallest woman in the world.
Right.
She's a lady from Canada called Sandy Allen, and she also took a size 22 shoe, and they brought it to some shoe shop in Atlanta, where they actually had shoes there, size 22.
That's
so
incredible.
My wife wrote away to them straight away and got a reply very quickly. So
they had size 22 already in stock. That's amazing. It wasn't a clown school or anything like that. It was actual. No. These are proper size 22 shoes. That's fantastic. Wow.
Basically because basketball players, they had one or two very tall basketball players who probably went there. And
right. There you go.
So. From there, but unfortunately now that shop has stopped stocking them.
Ah, okay. I'm thinking too now in regard to which church are you part of? Which church?
Basically, I'm what you might call a born-again Christian, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But I don't believe in denominations or anything like that. But I was ordained as a member of Calvary Christian Churches.
Okay, all right.
And I was ordained over in Singapore. So I did half my degree as such here in Ireland in Greystones, of all places, a place called Carrigeeden.
Oh, of course,
Sunday,
yeah, the
yes,
Great
you went there,
Carnegie.
yeah?
Yes, yes.
So I went there for a couple of years in the early 90s, and then I went over to do a bit of missionary work in Belgium, Wales, Hungary, and other places like that. And then came back and then went off to Singapore to do more studies
Okay.
and got ordained there.
Right.
So I'm reverend.
I know your life now. That thankfully you're able to get out and about again, which is this is and when you think about it, like 4 years, as I said, in bed really has to be a certain degree of torture. But I don't know if there's a certain pattern to your life now, whether you're actively, in regard to being a reverend, whether that's something that you're actively involved in, or whether it's just that this is your lifestyle, this is how you kind of choose to live. I don't know how it plays out.
Basically, my life is pretty much the same, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I'm not working as a reverend in any church here.
Okay.
I was, we first came back to Ireland in Tala and places like that. But as I say, when the problems got worse with the legs and things like that, I had to kind of like step back of being a pastor.
Okay.
So, which is say you can be a reverend but not be a pastor.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Right.
I'm looking around for a church to go to because
Okay.
unfortunately a lot of them nearby had steps into them and things like that.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I was looking for a place nearby to go to, and hopefully I'll find somewhere
I
soon.
think Hillside are fairly close to the. I'm trying to think that there's a few that should hopefully, and certainly they're all very welcoming. And
Oh yeah, I've visited Hillside a couple of times.
now, does the other part of your life, that the fact that you're Ireland's tallest man, does that sort of enter into your life much? I don't know whether that's something that just happens to be in your history, or whether it's something that people approach you about, or I don't know if there's any kind of did they check you every year to make sure you're still the tallest man, or?
Probably, yeah. I get calls from newspapers, TV programs, and things
Right.
like that, asking me to go on, things like that.
Okay.
So I don't always go on all of them.
Okay.
Just have to, otherwise people will be sick of seeing you on TV. And my wife as well. Basically, it's not easy for her
Sure.
having someone who's famous. You know what I mean? So
And would you say, I don't know if there is, no one's, I guess, 100%, but would you say you're generally happy now, or are there things you still feel you need to work through?
yeah. Well, as I say, basically the joy of the Lord is my strength, which is a verse in the Bible, and it's true though. Basically, I do have a joy that I just can't seem to be put down as such.
Great.
I do have bad things that happen all the time, if you know what I mean, but just the Lord gives me the strength to get over them as such.
And let's just say we have a beautiful breakfast waiting for us, so life is good.